over two halachot in regards to schach. One halacha is when a person is putting on the schach, number one, should make sure that the schach is resting on the wood, not on metal. Sometimes when a person has metal poles or whatever, so make sure, doesn't mean you're not allowed to touch the metal, but rather it can be resting on the metal. Rather the wood supports, wood beams that are there, would be able to support, even if the metal wouldn't be there, it would still be able to hold up the schach without the metal. So in such a case, that would be kasher. Again, your supports for the schach should be made of davar she'eino mekabel tum'ah, something that grows from the ground, something like a piece of wood, not a piece of metal. That's number one. Number two, when putting the schach, a person should be careful to make sure that he reaches all the walls. Which means, many times people put up their schach and the schach comes out a little short. So he says, you know what, it's a little short here, it's a little short there, it's not a big deal, I'm only going to sit under the schach. So many times people don't realize you can't do that. You can't have that the schach doesn't reach the walls. Rather, the schach has to reach to the wall. Now again, if you have a four-walled sukkah and it reaches three walls out of the four, you still have a kosher sukkah because you don't need the fourth wall. However, when you have a questionable fourth wall and it reaches only two out of the four walls in essence, because the last one anyways is not really a wall, and the third one is where, so then in such a case, your sukkah can be psulah, because it's not reaching, even if you're sitting directly under the schach and you technically have your three walls, you could be considered sukkah pesulah. And therefore a person should be careful, again, when putting the schach, he should try to make sure that he reaches from all sides, all the walls. The schach should cover from wall to wall, in order that he should not have any issues with, again, with his sukkah being non-kosher or b'di'avad, possibly not good. Last thing is, in case the schach flies off, person's schach flies off, again, he wants to tie it down, he could tie it down. But if, let's say, the schach does fly off, halakha is on Yom Tov, you're not allowed to put it back on, because that's called making a gag, you're making a roof. You're not allowed to put it back on. However, to ask a goy to put it on is mutar. You're allowed to go tell a goy to go put back the schach for you on top of your sukkah. That would be mutar. And he says it's a little bit better that you should tell a goy to tell another goy. If you could do that, not always is it possible, to tell a goy to tell another goy, which would end up being shvut shvut, makom tzorech mitzvah. In such a case, definitely would be mutar. You wouldn't have any issues of, again, building a gag or building a roof on Yom Tov.
Good.